Hello and welcome to the show. I am here on Forza 6 with a challenge. Today I'm going to be taking the quite frankly crazy Koenigsegg One, and I'll be trying to drive it around the Nurburgring in the pouring rain. Yes, this the most powerful car in Forza 6, 1,300 horsepower, 1,000 foot-pounds of torque. Going to be taking around a very, very soggy Nürburgring. We do have some massive rear tyres to help, which is good. This car is completely standard. I'm just driving the stock 1.1. I wanted to show a couple of things in Auto Vista. First of all, the wing. The wing deserves a mention because it is quite impressive. I've never seen a car quite designed like this. The struts kind of come out almost from the roofline back to hold the wing up. It's a strange way of doing things, but if it works, then that's okay by me. I also wanted to show the interior because I love the interiors of normal Koenigseggs. I think they're fantastic. This one here, even more so than normal because it's got my colours on it, which is always good. Anything with orange and black, I am a big fan of. Alright, let us get out of here. And yeah, I'm going to see how quickly I can get the 1.1 around the Nürburgring. So my kind of big concern with the 1.1 is, well, control. There is a lot of power going through the rear wheels for very, very wet conditions. So I'm hoping that the Koenigsegg doesn't try and kill me. The good thing, well, from what I've been reading on the internet, certainly this car was designed not just to be very quick in a straight line, it was designed to be very fast around a track as well. So we're going to need all of that if I am to survive. And immediately, I'm actually very impressed. Very impressed with this car through the first few corners. I did a stupid thing there on a puddle. But the traction we're getting, I mean, these are very, very low-speed corners with lots of standing water and, of course, I mean, just general lack of grip on the surface. And this is remarkably grippy. Fantastic traction as well out of these corners for such a huge amount of power in this car. That's also incredible acceleration. We'll probably get on the brakes coming up there. God dear, this is a very, very quick accelerated car, as you would imagine. It's the grip though and the traction that is by far the most impressive, although this is a lot of speed. This is a seriously large amount of speed. Oh, 212. Maybe we should think about slowing down for the corner up here. I could probably push that actually a little bit more. That's 150 miles an hour through that corner. That's not bad for a car in the dry. Let's put that in context. For vehicles in the dry, that's actually not that bad going through that corner, carrying that sort of corner speed. So this is a mighty impressive machine. It's avoiding the puddles down here. As I said, the standing water is the big concern, especially when you're travelling 150 miles an hour plus at most times. You hit a puddle at 150 miles an hour with one wheel, it's going to drag the car hugely sideways and put you in a wall probably, or completely spin you out, or you can just drive like a moron and outbrake yourself. Somehow we survived all of that. Not quite sure. I was expecting that to go a lot worse than it did, but never mind. We got through there. Yeah, that was not a fault of the car. That was the fault of me. They're driving like a moron. Oh, we're playing that very risky on the grass out there. There have been a couple of times already. I've only been driving the car 2 minutes. I've hit 212 miles an hour and had a couple of scary moments. The fact that this car hasn't gone pointing the wrong direction is a testament to just how good it is. You may well see me at times throughout these courses. I'm going to do 2 laps with the car. We'll do a warm-up lap here, and then we'll go for a flying lap. There may well be times you will see me actively avoiding apexes of some of the corners. That is because of the standing water. Especially in a car like this, I will definitely want to be avoiding the standing water, like through here. Admittedly, this corner here is probably one of the ones that you can get away because you're going so slow through that turn that it doesn't really matter if you hit the puddle. If you're doing like 50 miles an hour, it's not too bad. It's like round here where you're doing quite a bit more than that. Oh, I'm not actually quite going to stop it either. Oh, yeah, we got away with it on the most part. Yeah, it's when you're doing a little bit more, especially up this hill there on the inside. That's a horrible puddle. I'm trying to remember where they all are though. Yeah, you will see me avoiding them just because they're asking for trouble. Hitting one of them, you're just too likely to have a big spin, have a big lift through there, and then get on the brakes. This is another example. Horrible. It's a horrible curb on the inside, let alone with a puddle there. It's just a wall of a curb. Very easy in the dry. It's very easy to hit that curb and have the car just completely bounce back out into the middle of the track or into the other side wall because it is such a nasty curb down here. I loathe the puddle on the outside down here. Got to really take a tight line through the first bit and then make sure you get out wide for the second bit. You've got to avoid the puddles through there because you are travelling at such great speeds. Holy crap, I had a little dab on the brakes because I wasn't sure quite how we were going to fare, but I needn't have bothered because there is so much grip through these corners. And again, I mean, I'm asking the car to do so much here with so much power and torque, and it's doing all of it absolutely perfectly. This is an absolutely phenomenal vehicle. Like, this should not be this easy to drive. Oh, puddle, get off the puddle. Okay, there, we're fine. This should really not be as easy to drive as it is. I never know how to take the carousel in the rain. I don't really like going down in here because there is a horrible puddle on the inside that can cause some issues, and I've completely ballsed it up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Tried to take a little too much speed without being properly inside it. Messed that up. Oh no, this bit here is also horrible. Sorry, this bit here kind of takes more concentration than the carousel because you've really got to... You basically got to go completely the opposite of the racing line through there to avoid the puddles. That's how horrible that section of track is. We had a lot of problems when we raced the Jelly Lanciers around here. We had a lot of guys have problems through that part of the track, not because of the cars jelly and falling over, because of the puddles causing big issues. So that is a very, very dangerous part of the track. Now we're coming into the more technical part of the Nurburgring. The first part pretty quick, well, first half a lap. On the most part pretty quick. Oh, it's a puddle on the inside, shouldn't have done that. This part here is a lot more kind of second and third gear corners. And you would expect a 1,300 horsepower car in the wet to have lots of sideways silliness through here. And we're not at all. It's... Oh, I've outbraked myself a little bit. Yeah. I was not expecting this. I was not expecting this at all. So before I actually went to film this, I took a LaFerrari around the Nürburgring in the rain. Reason being, I, on the most part, tend to drive C-Class, B-Class, A-Class cars. That tends to be my kind of vehicle, touring cars, and so I've been driving the Holden Commodore quite a lot. The last day or so, that thing is incredible. I needed a kind of a warm-up for a hypercar, having not driven one for a while. I figured the LaFerrari would be a little slower and less crazy than the 1.1. So a good car for a warm-up. The thing is, this is probably 2-3 times better to drive than the LaFerrari. I was sat there expecting it to be the other way around, and this is so much easier to drive. So much easier to drive quickly than the LaFerrari. The LaFerrari is a good car. Don't get me wrong, while it's not my favourite of the hypercars, it is a very, very good car. This is so much better. Just almost every single way, this is a better car than the LaFerrari. Oh, no, get off the grass, you silly thing. Well, let's say silly thing, again, my fault on that one. I pushed it far too hard into the corner under brakes there. Oh, now we get to go for speed. How much of the speed can we get out of the 1.1? I'm imagining quite a lot down here. Oh yes, quite a lot. I've just seen my fuel gauge. There may be another small issue with the 1.1. Never mind, I'm doing 240 miles an hour in the wet. It's all good. The speed on this thing is incredible. I'm going to have a little lift. I probably didn't need to, or I think I probably would go for a little lift again, though, through there, because that is quite terrifyingly far. Oh, good God, this thing is absurd. That straight line speed is otherworldly. Just how fast I can get. So I think the LaFerrari at about 210 maybe down that bit of the road. This was doing 240. But the biggest thing of all is that it held onto the road in the wet at 240. The rear end stayed stuck on the tarmac, 729 for a wet lap. And for a car I've never driven before, not too displeased with that from a standing start. Yeah, the most impressive thing there was that the back end stayed firmly planted on the road at 240 miles an hour in the wet. That is amazing in this car. This is seriously amazing, this 1.1. It is so unbelievably fast, but apparently it goes through fuel like crazy. I'm not sure if that is a bit of a bug. Normally you don't use, well, what we used, about 2/3 of a fuel tank in 8 minutes. We may not complete this second lap, I've just realised. That is not a problem I've ever... That is not a problem I've ever had with a car. Well, tell a lie, I've run out of fuel once. We never speak of it. But normally you don't run out of fuel in 10 minutes. That's quite impressive, Koenigsegg. You go through a lot of fuel. Maybe the real car does use fuel this quickly. Again, we're at 200 miles an hour. I was actually a little slower coming down that back straight this time around. Oh god, the grip is so immense in this car. I'm absolutely in love. This, or would this replace the TVR Speed 12 as my favourite hypercar? I don't think it could quite. I don't think it could quite replace the Speed 12 as my favourite hypercar. This can definitely take second place as my favourite of the hypercars, though. It is such an incredible vehicle to drive. Remarkable how easy, even in conditions like these where it really shouldn't be, it is remarkable just how easy it is to drive it quickly. This should not, you would not expect, at least, as it shouldn't be. It's more of a, you wouldn't expect Koenigsegg with this much power, rear-wheel drive, to be this easy to drive, but it simply is. Whoa! I can push my luck a little bit. I really hate the puddles down that part of the track, because you can't, again, it's avoiding the apex of these corners, just so that you don't have a silly spin. Can we make it to the end of the lap without running out of fuel? That is the... that is the big question with this. Now, I could go fuel conservation, but that would be boring. Oh, puddle, careful over those horrible bits. And again, we've got to stick out wide. I think we can actually come back to the inside on this part. Yeah, a lot of this is a game of let's see who can memorise the puddles as well as possible for a track like this. Of course, on the smaller circuits, much easier. Around here, it is a pain in the arse. It took me quite a long time to learn the Nurburgring. Certainly back in, well, even when I started playing Forza 5, I wasn't a particular fan of this particular circuit. Took a lot of laps. I did a Nurburgring lap time series. That's what's got me half decent. I don't know how many laps I've done on Nurburgring now. Much more, so I do know the track pretty well. And I'm now enjoying driving it a lot more. Now that I know the track better, I do enjoy taking cars around here. And this is a fantastic vehicle to go driving around the Nurburgring, because you have much of the speed, but surprisingly much of the control as well. Although we're going to go very wide through here to avoid that puddle on the inside. There's a little river that crosses at the end of it, but that's, you know, we kind of go across that fairly straight, so that's not a huge issue. And then we're back to more puddle dodging down this part of the circuit. I don't even want to know what my fuel gauge is telling me, because it's probably going to be an unhappy sight. Oh, we're on the grass, and somehow we got away. Yeah, it is a very unhappy sight down there. Can we get to 200? I actually daren't take it to 200, because while this car is phenomenally good, it's, you know, it's still there are still limitations to what this can do. And I put a wheel on the grass on the outside there. So that was some slightly shoddy driving on my behalf. Yeah, I mean, there's not infinite grip in this car, but for a road car, and with all of this power and all of this torque, it's exceptional. It really, and this whole DLC actually has been a really, really good one. Lots of interesting cars, and this one's probably going to be the one that catches everyone's attention, and as it should. This is a phenomenal vehicle, but a whole bunch of interesting cars. After driving this one, go drive the Holden as well. Okay, that's just my advice to you. Go drive this, and then go drive the Holden. Both of them are phenomenal vehicles. Completely different ends of the spectrum, but both awesome cars. Right, we're playing Avoid the Puddles. Oh, we played Avoid the Puddles too well. We're in the wall. Damn it. Those bloody puddles on the inside of the track there. That is, I think, the worst section of this track in the rain. I am pretty convinced that is the worst part of it for trying to avoid it, because you have to go so far offline. It's such an awkward and such an unnatural way of taking the corners. Yeah, this lap is not going particularly well. I'm not really going to complain then when this car inevitably runs out of fuel like it has now. 12 minutes. 12 minutes is all it took for me to run the 1-1. Yeah, we're dead. We're out of fuel. Okay, now I'm not sure if that is genuinely what the 1-1 would do if you ran it flat out around the Nurburgring, or whether that is a slight bug in the game, because that does seem very, very quick to have run a car completely and utterly out of juice. We are not going to complete a second lap with the 1-1 because it is out of fuel. Not that, I will be honest, it wasn't the greatest second lap. I just ran wide. I ran wide dodging the puddles and hit the wall. But it wouldn't have mattered anyway, because we've made it 1 3/4 of a lap. Something to be wary of if you are running the thing with simulation everything. Yeah, the fuel does tend to go down quite quite quickly. To be fair, from a standing start and for an opening gambit, a 729 is actually pretty damn good, I reckon, for a hypercar in the rain. The most impressive thing of all, though, regardless of lap time, is how well this car drives. It is accessible hypercar performance here. In the wet, I'm going full throttle in third gear and it will grip. That's some seriously impressive stuff. And you can use a huge amount of power in second gear, still find grip. Nothing else quite drives like this car. Nothing with quite kind of the acceleration, the power and the speed that you get from this. It's Hennessy Venom straight line speed with the cornering from a Radical almost. Not quite, but it's a spectacular vehicle. Very highly recommend you have a go. Chances are if you have this DLC, you'll have already have driven the 1-1. Shall we go and roll it down a hill? Hey, how fast can we go backwards down a hill in the one? Useful consumer advice, this one. With 15 miles an hour. Come on, can we crack the 20? Come on, Koenigsegg. You can do it. Hey. Oh dear. Yeah, this DLC is awesome. This car is amazing. It does run out of fuel quite quickly, though. That is a little bit of a concern. Anyway, that is it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.